The Chief Executive Officer, commonly known as CEO, is the person ultimately responsible for setting organizational strategy and policy. Even though the CEO reports to the chair of the board, in a real sense, the CEO is the most powerful person in the corporation because he or she controls the allocation of resources. The board of directors gives the CEO the power to set the organization's strategy and use its resources to create value. Often the same person is both chief executive officer and chair of the board. A person who occupies both positions wields considerable power and directly links the board to corporate management. A CEO can influence organizational effectiveness and decision making in five principal ways. Number one, the CEO is responsible for setting the organization's goals and designing its structure. The CEO allocates authority and task responsibilities so that resources are coordinated and motivated to achieve organizational goals. Different organizational structures promote different methods of coordinating and motivating resources. Number two, the CEO selects key executives to occupy the topmost levels of managerial hierarchy. This sort of staffing is a vital part of the CEO's job because the quality of decision making is directly affected by the abilities of the organization's top managers. By choosing key personnel, the CEO determines the values, norms, and culture that emerge in the organization. The culture determines the way organization members approach problems and make decisions. Number three, the CEO determines top management's rewards and incentives. The CEO influences the motivation of top managers to pursue organizational goals effectively. Number four, the CEO controls the allocation of resources such as money and decision making among the organization's functional areas or business divisions. This control gives the CEO enormous power to influence the direction of the organization's future value creation activities. That is, the kinds of products the company will make, the markets in which it will compete, so on and so forth. And final point, number five, the CEO's actions and reputation have a major impact on inside and outside stakeholders' views of the organization and affect the organization's ability to attract resources from its environment. A CEO's personality and charisma can influence an organization's ability to obtain money from banks and shareholders and influence customers' desire to buy companies' products. So can a reputation for honesty and integrity and track record of making sound, ethical business decisions. The ability to influence organizational decision making and managerial behavior gives the CEO enormous power to directly influence organizational effectiveness. This power is also indirect, for CEOs influence decision making through the people they appoint or the organizational structure or culture they create and leave behind them as their legacy. Thus, the top management team that the CEO creates is critical not only to the organization's success now, but in the future. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. But before I terminate this session, I would ask you to visit my website, my professional website at www.asifjmeer.com. I also ask you to visit my blog on management topics, asifjmeer.wordpress.com. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.